'cause it makes trouble go away. Yeah. Oh my, my, my. I was so lost till now. Didn't know I was in doubt. To meet the others, my brothers, hear me today. I'm gonna ride this train, never coming back again. No, no, no. Everything that came before that led me to the end. Yes, it did now. Yeah. Listen to me. This journey never ends. On you it all depends. It's your life, you can learn it, you can burn it. It's on you. If you won't play this game, nothing comes easy, baby. You have to earn it or return it another day. Me, I'm gonna ride this train, never going back again. Yeah. Everything that came before there led me to the end. We're going on tonight. Seems to me nothing's what it seems tonight. Yeah, heading to the new sunrise. Never know what you're gonna see tonight. We're going on tonight. Seems to me nothing's what it seems tonight. Heading to the new sunrise. Never know what you're gonna see tonight. Yeah. One day they'll hear a sound. They'll come from miles around to hear the brothers who make their pain go away. Make everything go away. We're gonna ride this train, never going back again. Oh no, no. And everything that came before that led me to the end. We're going on tonight. Seems to me nothing's what it seems tonight. Yeah, headed to the new sunrise. Never know what you're gonna see tonight. We're going on tonight. Seems to me nothing what it seems tonight. Yeah, headed to the new sunrise. Never know what you're gonna see tonight. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. All I need is one chance. 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 All I need is one describe just what I'm leaving behind. And now the voice inside is telling me it'll be just fine. Road never ends. Beat myself up again. These things shall come to pass. Oh no, no, this won't be the last.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with
Freedom Train.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, iRacing fans from around the world, welcome to another live broadcast brought to you by All Pro Broadcasting and KMA Racing. Tonight we are at Phoenix in Race 4 of Monday Night Mania, brought to you by Richie B's Pizza. Big shout out to Mr. Richard Brose, not able to be with us tonight due to weather conditions, but we are hoping that our sponsor for the evening, Richard Brose, is safe and sound. As I did mention, ladies and gentlemen, this is race 4 of 12 in the series. Going to be some hot action out here tonight at Phoenix. We've got our usual array of drivers out here right now, and they are taking down their qualifying times. We have got Abe Bowden out here joining us tonight, along with Chris Hogue, and the regular drivers out from Southeast Motorsports. Wally Tierheimer out here representing Maximum Velocity Racing, Brian Rainville, Mitchell Reeves, Ivan Garcia. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, going to be some hot action out here at Phoenix. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about Phoenix. This is a shorter track. It's only about a mile in length, 1.00 miles to be exact, 4 turns. Hold up to 44 drivers located out of Avondale, Arizona. That is some home country to our broadcaster out there in great state of Arizona. We are running the Xfinity class tonight. Not the most powerful class of vehicles out here, but a very good class indeed. And I tell you what, fans, these little Camaros, they will stick right down onto this track. Track temperature is going to be a little bit warm tonight. It's sitting up there at about 75. We are mostly cloudy at 72 degrees. So these drivers are going to have to take very close care of their equipment and their tires tonight. They're going to be slipping. They are going to be sliding around this 1 mile raceway here in Phoenix. But hopefully they're going to take her easy. It is 100 laps. They've got a fuel load sitting on about 35 to 38 laps. So we are going to be looking for some green flag racing out here. Now, one more time, I did mention this is race 5, actually. And taking a quick look at our points, we do have Mitchell Reeves out there in front of the point chase with 163 points. Dustin Lee sitting in second place at 157. And Michael Jeans in third place with 150. So right now, Southeast Motorsports in the points chase is top 3. As these drivers are taking down our qualifying times, they're going to be debating whether or not to qualify or not. And here on the shorter tracks, this is not speedways. At speedways, qualifying really isn't so important because you can find a partner, you can get hooked up. But here at Phoenix, I think the wise man will be out here doing their qualifying time. If there is in the event of a caution, you want to be out here in front. The lucky dog position is on. But in order to get that lucky dog position tonight, you have got to remain free and clear of any upcoming incidences. And sometimes here at Phoenix, that is hard to do. A couple of quick shout outs here. One to All Pro Broadcasting. Busiest man out there. If you're a league owner looking to get your league broadcasted, you need to get a hold of Michael D'Amico with All Pro Broadcasting or David Everly. They are booking well already into the month of February. Busy broadcasting. Big shout out to Richard Brose, Richie B's Pizza out of Dothan, Alabama. If you're ever down there in Alabama, stop in and see Richie B. And tell them the boys at All Pro Broadcasting and KMA Racing brought them over. Big shout out to our painter, Over the Top Paints and Designs. A lot of these cars that we're going to be looking at tonight were painted up by Over the Top Paints and Designs. So big shout out to John Hedrick. We have our replay sponsor of GW Graphics. Going to see a little bit of replay action tonight, I am sure. So big shout out to Gary Whitmore of GW Graphics. And our grid sponsor for tonight is Michael Angelo's Painting. Check them out on Michael Angelo's. Make sure you give the broadcast a big thumbs up out there. And big shout out to the fans. Big shout out to Travis Browder out there right now, keeping his eyes on tonight's action, coming to you live from Phoenix. Right now, with 45 seconds left in qualifying, we do have Scott Sanderson out there leading the pack with a fast lap of 26.771. Very fast time out there for Scott Sanderson, and that may very well hold tonight. But I am seeing that at least 12 drivers out here tonight opting not to qualify. We are looking at about a 34 car field. 21 drivers are qualifying. So already early on, strategies are coming alive. Our race admins for the evening are Gary Burt, Jack Watts, and Edward Bray, and they're going to do everything they can to keep these drivers out here in line tonight. But a lot of pressure will be on the driver out here. As I mentioned, it is hot out here tonight at 75 degrees track temp, and these cars, they're going to be doing the slippery, slidey thing tonight. So hopefully these drivers will be in full range of taking her easy. And we're going to hopefully see some green flag racing out here tonight. Up there on that pole position, we do have Scott Sanderson with a 26.771. Side by side with James Lehman in position 2 with a 26.829. Representing Southeast Motorsports, the number 51, Dustin Lee, P3 26.849, side by side with the number 30 of Douglas Hess with a 26.951. Very strong P5 position for Mitchell Reeves, a regular top 5 finisher here in the KMA racing circuit. Position 5 with a 26.960. William R. Harris, position 6 with a 27.049. Number 54, Nick Reynolds, P7, 27.120. KMA's very own Tuesday night sponsor, Jason Russo, P8 with a 27.123. Number 8, Steve Dutz, position 9, 27.136. And representing Premier Race Network, the number 60, Brian Rainville with a 27.152. Position 11, we're looking at the number 9 of Michael Jeans. Jarrett Lipster will take position 12. The number 6 of Chris Hogue, position 13. Matthew Quick, position 14 in the 89 tonight, and Wesley Whitfield in the number 74 taking up position 15. Abe Bowden tonight in the number 19, Skills, position 16. Number 85, Judd Danielson with TYJ Dominoes. Judd Danielson, position 17. Wally Tierheimer in the number 57 taking on position 18 tonight. Vernon Margheim, position 19, and Tristan Beats rounding out our top 20. Drivers are pulling out of pit row as we are speaking, getting ready to go get lined up. Now we've got some orange cones out there here at Phoenix. You are going to be noticing tonight, and those cones are out of bounds. These drivers need to keep those orange cones onto the left side. They're going to want to come around that tri-oval. They're going to want to try to dip down off that apron, get as much run as they possibly can. But if they make contact with that orange cone, a flag will arise. They will get the yield. And we are. Pace car is in. Drivers are getting ready to roll them out. Hopefully we will see some green flag pit stops here tonight at Phoenix. Right now we do have Dustin Lee taking a big jump, and the first caution is out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but we are showing a caution flag underneath our first lap. We're going to back that up. We are hearing that the number 91 of Joel Guy possibly caught up into that. But we are going to take a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay brought to you by GW Graphics. And indeed, here on the start, the number 91 of Joel Guy going for a ride. Fortunately, no other drivers were caught up. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that was a quick wake-up call for the number 91 of Joel Guy. Out here, not necessarily testing his limits, but just the car getting a little bit loose out there, getting underneath him, and away goes the number 91 of Joel Guy. Big shout out to GW Graphics for the replay sponsor. Now, obviously, with this very early caution, I am not expecting many drivers to pull into pit row unless they're opting to change position. Hardly not nary a 3/4 of a mile lap tonight for the first caution. So no need really to get it in there into pit row in any way, shape, or form. Joining us up in the booth for our very first interview of the evening is James Lehman. How about it, James?
How's it going, Scott?
All righty, tell us about this track tonight. How do you do at Phoenix here?
At Phoenix, it's basically a tire-saving track. You gotta go easy on those tires because after about 20 laps, you'll see the big difference.
Howdy, now is Phoenix a strong track for you, sir?
Oh, yes it is. Yes, it is. Just like how Martinsville was, this is one of my more favorite tracks. I'm really big into short tracks, so I love it here.
Alrighty, copy that. Maybe we'll see you up there in Victory Lane tonight. Good luck to you, James.
Thank you, Scott. You have a fun night.
Alrighty, James out there. Hopefully he'll be able to put that money where he is talking about. He was indeed very strong back at Martinsville, and Martinsville was a hoot, to say the least. And hopefully tonight at Phoenix it will be a positive hoot out here. But James Lehman feeling very confident out here on lap 4 with 96 to go, and he will be up in that P1 position on this restart. Joining me up in the booth is Travis Browder. How about it, Travis Browder?
Hey, Scott. I'm spectating tonight. So, you want me to join you in the broadcast booth?
Well, right now I just wanted to get a little chat with you. I see out there on the fan page. Hopefully, we're going to put on a great show. I know you're very familiar here with Phoenix. Any advice you could give out here to the drivers tonight if you were down there with them?
Well, Scott, tires is everything at this track. You know, just go easy on the rear end kicking in because I see a lot of guys are getting loose coming out of 3 and 4, and we'll see what they got. Hopefully, we'll see green flag pit stops.
Alrighty, copy that. Travis, I appreciate you out there watching the boys race tonight, and I might drag you up here later and have a talk with you.
Alrighty, Scott. Thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure to talk to you, young Travis. Very experienced driver. Right now, currently take a little bit of a break from iRacing, but he will be joining us back, hopefully in time for the Sanadega coming up on Friday, December 23rd. Tonight's race is brought to you by Richie B's Pizza out there in Dothan, Alabama. Live broadcast by All Pro Broadcasting. Right now, not a lot of action to talk about as these drivers are trying to find their spot. Early caution brought out by the number 91 of Joel Guy. Getting it a little bit loose as he does come around that corner. But, you know, that's going to happen here on the first few laps. As James Lehman mentioned, you got to give these tires time to set. And oftentimes these restarts are extremely difficult to get going. You want to get down on that accelerator pedal. But if you get too hard on that accelerator pedal, you are definitely going to go for a ride. As I mentioned, these cars are, you know, not exactly the cup cars that we're used to driving, but they still have quite a bit of power and a whole lot of torque. And if you hammer down on that loud pedal, you are going to go for a ride. Better to go, a little bit slower, getting these cars gradually up to speed. But I tell you what, once these drivers are up to speed, they're going to be sideswiping, beating, and banging their way around this 1.0 mile track. We are on 1 to go. Cars are lining up double file. We're going to call this a little bit of a do-over. Fortunately, no other drivers were caught up in that early caution brought out by Joel Guy. Scott Sanderson side by side with James Lehman. Dustin Lee, Douglas Hess taking on third and fourth. Pace car is in. James Lehman out of that gate and up into that high lane. Trying to get out there way ahead of tonight's pack. Going up here in the front, as long as he is in the front, he is going to be quite safe and sound. Mitchell Reeves racing side by side with the number 30 of Douglas Hess. Two wide action into the corner. And caution is out, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, 2 early cautions. We were going to look at that on our All Pro Broadcasting replay. And we are looking at, I believe, the number 6 of Chris Hogue. As Chris Hogue does enter that corner, getting a little bit loose and getting into the number 99 tonight, driven by Jarrett Lipster. Appears that as Chris Hogue was coming around that corner, got down below that yellow line, came up and clipped onto the number 99 of Jarrett Lipster tonight. Not a lot of damage on Jarrett Lipster, but enough he is going to have to go into pit row and have the mechanics in the body shop take a look at the number 9. Chris Hogue, unfortunately, suffering tremendous damage. Will have to use one of his 2 allotted resets tonight. Second early caution. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Phoenix, it might be wearing these drivers out here tonight. I still do not believe that these front drivers are going to waste their time right now heading into pit row. Right now, I do think up there in the front is going to be the safest place to run tonight. And going into pit row, that's going to put you somewhere near the rear of the field, and that could not be very conducive to getting in some green flag racing tonight. While we are underneath our second early caution, we're going to go on and talk to A couple of drivers. Joining us in the booth right now is Michael Jeans tonight, running with Southeast Motorsports. How are you doing, Michael?
Oh, we're doing pretty good, Scott.
All right, well, I tell you what, you have got your own little cheering section out there on the All-Pro Broadcasting. Amanda Stewart out here watching you. Hopefully you'll put on a good show. Talk to us about what's your thoughts on R4 tonight here at Phoenix.
Excuse me. Yeah, hopefully we can get it together here. This track is a lot of fun, but it's kind of hard to drive at times. So just getting everybody to calm down and pay attention, I think we'll have a good night.
So is it a matter of drivers just drifting up, sliding up, spinning tires, too much brake? What's going on out here?
It's all of the above. It's pretty easy to overdrive into the corners here, get on the brakes too hard, break the rear end loose, and it's easy. It's also easy to, gas it up coming off especially off of 4 here. You try to gas it up and get going off of 4. It's pretty easy to break the rear end loose. You come around that way. So, it's not hard to wreck here. It's just, that's the biggest thing about this track. It's one of them. This is one that you go slow to go fast. Just take it easy, cruise around, and you'll be all right.
All right, copy that. I'm going to remember that. That is good words. Going slow to go fast. It's like that Disney movie Cars. You turn left to go right. Good luck to you, Michael.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, Michael Jeans right there giving some pretty darn good advice. Go slow to go fast. And I tell you what, he does know what he is doing out here. This is lap 11. Not a whole lot of green flag racing going on yet, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, 2 early cautions, both caused by driver spinouts. So here at Phoenix, it is going to be a little bit of a challenging night, I fear. But I know that these drivers will be buckling down, getting back into focus as we are looking at side-by-side pacing between Scott Sanderson and James Lehman. Pace car in the pit row. Once again, I expect James Lehman out of that gate, side-by-side with Scott Sanderson. Looking at that 01 in that outside lane, U.S. Army. Putting on a good show out here tonight. Scott Sanderson in the number 93. Very tight, very good run out there on the number 1 of James Lehman. But here comes the number 51 of Dustin Lee, driver for Southeast Motorsports, along with Mitchell Reeves in tow. 5th place being taken up by Nick Reynolds. And the number 54 getting into the rear end of the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, bringing out our 3rd early caution. We had our cameras right onto that, ladies and gentlemen. And it does appear that the number 54 of Nick Reynolds getting into the rear end of the number 2 of Mitchell Reeves, sending Mitchell Reeves into a very nice, nicely controlled left-hand turn. 3rd caution of the evening on lap 13. As I mentioned, that will bring out our 3rd caution of the evening. Now things are getting a little bit interesting up here. With 13 slow laps, these drivers are going to have to decide if they're going into pit row up here in the front. Looking at Scott Sanderson and James Lehman under pace, scrubbing those tires, and indeed, James Lehman will be heading into pit row. No, sir, he pulled the tomfoolery out of there. After like he was going down pit row, pulled right back out. So James Lehman deciding to stay out along with Scott Sanderson and Dustin Lee. Steve Dutz will be sitting in position 8, along with the number 54 of Nick Reynolds sitting in position 5. Now we will have to see what our race officials are going to decide about the incident with the number 54 of Nick Reynolds. We do not like to give EOLs out of here, but they are going to work it out on the track. But there will be a possibility of that. The number 54 will be going to the back of the field, as he did get into his teammate there, sending his teammate Mitchell Reeves for a ride here on lap 14. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, these drivers have got to get a grip on these tires, no pun intended. We are 15 laps in of 185 laps to go, and unfortunately have not gone more than 3 laps green flag racing. Phoenix tonight proving to be a handful for several drivers out here tonight. Joining me up in the booth is the number 8, Steve Dutz, right now currently in 4th place position. How you doing, Steve?
Good, how are you guys?
Doing good. Now, we have to make sure we don't get frustrated out here. We've had just already 3 early cautions inside of 15 laps. What do you think's going on out here tonight at Phoenix, and what needs to be done to get down to some green flag racing?
Well, I just think we all need to take it easy and give a bunch of room for everybody so we can at least get some green flag laps in, and then get everybody spread out, and then we can race from there.
Alrighty, so what you're implying then is the pack racing, tight race, and this is not a good thing here at Phoenix. You want to see everybody get a few car links and maybe 1 or 2 drivers taking on 1 or 2 other drivers.
Yes.
Alrighty, I think that would be a very good idea. Good luck to you, Steve.
Thank you, good luck.
Alrighty, Steve Dutz there with some really good advice, and I agree 100%, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm thinking these drivers need to do is to sit and kind of relax and chill. This pack will get broken up lap after lap. You know, one driver will fall back, one driver will get the runaway. The worst thing these drivers can do right now at Phoenix is try to stay bunched up in a 30-car field. It's not going to happen real well, ladies and gentlemen. And we do have 36 drivers out here on a 1-mile track, and if you think that Talladega is packed with 36, well, imagine taking a mile, .66 out of that equation. So not the biggest track out here on the NASCAR circuit. We are getting ready to get our 3rd restart of the night. Once again, James Lehman, Scott Sanderson, Dustin Lee, Steve Dutz. And even though we have had 3 cautions already, we have had 4 lead changes. So we do have the leaders up here getting busy. I think the guys back there in the back, they're just kind of hanging on tight. After 3 cautions, these drivers are going to be a little bit more careful. Side by side with James Lehman and Scott Sanderson. And once again, Scott Sanderson out of the gates like a bat, running for his life. Looking at the number 8 of Steve Dutz, trying to go underneath the number 10 of James Lehman. Contact with James Lehman. James Lehman going for a ride tonight, and that will bring out another caution. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, we were right there with those All-Pro Broadcasting cameras, and we are going to take a look with that on our GW graphics replay. But we did indeed see the number 10 of James Lehman coming down and getting into the number 93 of Scott Sanderson, bringing out our 4th caution of the evening. Oh my. Scott Sanderson, Steve Dutz, Dustin Lee, slowly, one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be getting into some different positioning up here at the front, either way it goes. And we're going to get one more driver's interview. I tell you what, if it keeps going like this, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking to every driver out here on this track tonight. But right now, joining me in the booth is Jason Russo. Now, Jason Russo is a sponsor of our Tuesday night series. Since we've got the time, Jason, talk to us real quick about what we can expect out of the TNT series coming to you live on January 2nd of 2017.
Let me tell you, Scott, next season of TNT is going to be very, very exciting. We got some really cool tracks lined up. A couple of super speedways and then a lot of half miles. A lot of 1.5 miles and a couple of little short tracks, but really good setups for them all, and should be a really good time. Can't wait.
Alrighty, and I said January 2nd, but I'm wrong. It's January 3rd, actually. But either way it goes, big shout out to Pro Automotive out of Dudley, Massachusetts. Appreciate you guys taking care of the guys here at KMA Racing, Jason.
Oh, thank you. And hope to get this race on the way a little better. It's getting a little rough here in the beginning, but hopefully some guys can get a few laps, get these tires warmed up, and then get to racing.
All right, copy that, and good luck to you. Jason Russo, our Tuesday night sponsor. We are seeing the number 91 of Joel Guy getting his lap back from that very first caution there on lap 1.5. So good job there too, Mr. Joel Guy. Now we do have Scott Sanderson, Steve Dukes, once again up there on that front line, along with Dustin Lee, William Harris, Jason Russo sitting in position 5th, Matt Clifton, last night's winner here at the Race for Pad Monthly. Great shout out to Matt Clifton. Ladies and gentlemen, do remember Pad, People Against Distracted Driving. Check them out at padd.org. We are once again at 1 to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be seeing these drivers lining up side by side. Now, looking on further back in the field, we do have Wally Tierheimer. I'm not sure if Martha Tierheimer is out there rooting on her son, but Wally Tierheimer currently sitting in 12th place. Wally Tierheimer, a very patient driver, almost a guaranteed top 5 most nights. Wally knows when to hold him, he knows when to fold him, and he knows when to get into it and when to get out of it. Big expectations tonight for Wally Tierheimer. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, these drivers have got to get a very solid 5 laps in before we can do anything. They have got to be patient. They have got to let these tires gain their grip tonight. As I mentioned, this track temperature does sit up at 75 degrees, but no matter what that track temperature is, these drivers have got to do it to it. We are back to green flag racing. Scott Sanderson side by side with Steve Dukes, Dustin Lee down on that inside. Different driving route by Scott Sanderson up there to the right, and a big left turn back down onto that left inside lane, almost running what it appears to be a modified Q line down below that yellow, very close to those orange cones, but making a very smooth transition back up onto the track. Right now the goal of Scott Sanderson is to keep it out there in the front and completely out of trouble. He's going to be racing pretty hard with Steve Dukes, and ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, another caution will fly here at Phoenix. We're going to take a look at that on our All Pro Broadcasting replay. We do know that the number 88 of Gary Burt sideways on the track. Not sure if he was a participant in it or just a victim of it, but we are going to back that up and take a look at exactly what did happen. We do know that Matthew Quick, unfortunately, involved with it as well. We're backing up those camera angles. And the number 55 is Scott Amy and Brian Rainville involved in it as well. Number 54 taking on damage, Nick Reynolds. All right, what we are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that Gary Burt may possibly have drifted up the track into the number 54 of Nick Reynolds. And that is what brought out that caution, ladies and gentlemen. That has been confirmed, but slightly ahead of that. Also, we had the number 55 of Scott Amy in a 3-wide position with Brian Rainville. Jarrett Lipster getting into the rear end of the number 6 as Scott Amy gets into the side of Brian Rainville, blocking the path of the number 88, Gary Burt. I tell you what, we had about 3 different things going on there, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of action out here on lap 23. Going to be a long night for some of these drivers. Unfortunate break for several drivers that were in the rear trying to sit back there and just stay out of trouble. Matthew Quick, one of those main drivers, was doing everything he could to get off the track, but as he did, was rear-ended by the number 4. Not much the number 4 could do about it, unfortunately, the number 4 being driven by Andrew Williams. Here at Phoenix, as I mentioned once before, I will mention it again, this is a 1-mile track out here. And these drivers have got to be very, very careful. I cannot stress that enough. We will take advantage of this time and get in another driver interview. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, this might be the night that we talk to just about everybody on this track. So if we're not going to get some green flag racing, by goodness, we're going to have a lot of conversations with a lot of great drivers out here. Right now,
If I
joining me
win like this, dude,
up in the booth is Tristan Beats. How are we doing, Tristan Beats?
Pretty good, Scott. What's going on, man?
Well, I don't know what's going on out here tonight. I'm starting to get just a little bit scared out here at Phoenix. I'm not sure how you're feeling, but you're going to be restarting out there in position 3. What are you going to do with it?
I'm just gonna kind of run and see how it goes. Under practice and qualifying, I really didn't run very well, but all these cautions are really working in my favor, and it's actually looking like if this continues, I might be able to get a win tonight.
Alrighty. Well, I tell you what, I always hate it when a driver is going to win due to a lot of cautions rather than getting out here and showing his talent. But tonight here at Phoenix, this may be survival mode. Do you think these drivers are now going to buckle down? We have had 27 laps, and I believe we've spent about 20 of them under caution.
I really hope so, Scott. My teammate back there, Jarrett Lecturer, he really practiced, and he's pretty good at this track, and I know he'd have a really good chance, and with all these cautions, it's just screwing him over and just keep sending him back to the end of the pack.
Alrighty, copy that, Tristan. Hopefully these guys will be buckling down. Good luck to you, sir.
Thanks, Scott.
Big shout out to our fans out there, John, Hedrick, Amanda, and Stuart. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, these drivers are doing their best out here tonight, but Phoenix, it is a you-know-what. We've got Dustin Lee out there in front on this restart. Very commanding jump out there done by the number 51. Looking at Jason Russo, hot on the heels of William R. Harris, and Tristan Beats down under that inside lane. Judd Danielson right now in position 5. We are keeping our fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Half a lap to go for one complete green flag lap of racing. Keeping our eyes side-by-side action with Jason Russo and the number 3 of William Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting down to some green flag racing right now. But Dustin Lee way up there in the front.
All right, man.
William Harris,
Caution is out.
caution is out. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, we are taking another caution. We're going to back that up, and we're going to take a look at that on our All Pro Broadcasting replay brought to you by GW Graphics. And we are hearing that the number 55 of Scott Amy quite possibly involved with it in here, bringing his car to a complete stop on the track just about. We're going to back that up with the number 55 of Scott Amy. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Amy going for a spin pretty much all by himself, coming across the nose of, I believe it is the number, trying to get a catch on that number, on the number 20. Unfortunately, bad luck tonight for the number 20 as Scott Amy does come across his nose tonight. That will bring out our 6th caution of the night. We are on lap 30 at this rate, ladies and gentlemen. We could hit a record number of cautions out here tonight. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I am a little bit perplexed. We have got great drivers out here, but the action not quite so great. But I am sure, I am positive, these drivers are going to get straight down to business very soon. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of action out here tonight, but not the good kind of action that we are hoping to see. We also did see the number 25 of Rusty Farrell coming out of pit road, getting into a little bit of trouble there on that exit way. So, once again, we're going to try to get back to some green flag racing. They have honestly thrown me to a little bit of a loop tonight. I know these drivers can fare out much better than what they are doing tonight. But unfortunately, this has been our 6th caution within 30 laps. Phoenix. These drivers are not getting along with Phoenix at all tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us up in the booth is Judd Danielson. How about it, Judd Danielson? How are you?
I'm great. I'm just kind of rolling around here. How are you tonight?
I tell you what, I'm a little bit perplexed up here in the tower, but I expected when I asked you how you were doing, I think you were going to say you might be a little bit frightened right here after 6 cautions. What do you think is going on out here, Judd?
I just think guys are just not checking up these brakes as well as they need to. You know, they got to get heated up. You got to get them set. Give the guy in front of you a little room, man. I mean, this is Phoenix, as we know. So it's a situation where, you know, check yourself. That's all. I think we're going to be okay here for a little bit. Now we got things settled in a little. We'll see what happens here. I like how Dustin is taking off, though. I really appreciate him taking off.
All right, yes, so he is trying to get up and out of town, as they say, before the gunslinger starts shooting. Good luck to you, Judd, tonight.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Scott.
Judd Danielson right there. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow announcer right there with TYJ Domino's Racing League. Check them out there with All Pro Broadcasting. Again, All Pro Broadcasting out here making great big things happen, ladies and gentlemen. Busiest man there is out there on the broadcasting network. Big shout out to Becky Whitmer and Michelle McMaster Eisenhower out there keeping Amanda Stewart and Travis Browder company on the Chit Chat channel. I know the ladies and Travis out there looking for some green flag racing here tonight at Phoenix, and we are hoping that it will be on its way. But unfortunately tonight, Phoenix taking its toll. And once again on the restart, Dustin Lee getting ready to rock and roll side by side with the number 3 of William Harris. Dustin Lee once again out there in front with a very good start. Taking a look at the number 3, having to back her up as he does approach Dustin Lee at a very good rate of speed. But in third spot, Jason Russo trying to make his way up to the rear end of William R. Harris. We have Judd Danielson sitting in the rear view mirror of Jason Russo. So right now the big action is with position 1, 2, 3, and 4. Almost side by side with William Harris and Dustin Lee. Back to single form formation, Jason Russo getting a big run. And ladies and gentlemen, well, unfortunately, you have guessed it once again. We are under caution here at Phoenix. Going to find out what happened on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay as we cycle through the field looking for the car that is sitting sideways. And we do know that the number 91 of Joel Guy sitting sideways in the middle of the track. Not sure what happened with the number 91 of Joel Guy, but it does appear that Joel Guy spinning. Unfortunate second caution for Joel Guy. Unfortunately, that will be a parking situation for the number 91 of Joel Guy. We do have a rule out here, ladies and gentlemen, that if you are the cause of 2 single car cautions, you are sent back to the garage. But, you know, that is, that don't think bad of Joel Guy. He's a great driver. Just Phoenix is not his preferred track out here tonight. So Joel Guy doing the manly thing and going to take a ride down there into pit row and hang up the keys for the night. Probably go back into some off personal time, get some more practice. But he'll be back out here tomorrow night in the Tuesday night TNT series. And tomorrow night we will be at Daytona in the Cup cars. Now that one there, that will be some pounding heart action. Tomorrow night we will be at Daytona at 208 miles per hour in the Cup cars. Going to be some great racing out there tomorrow night. And the thing about the Cup cars, ladies and gentlemen, when you put them at Daytona at 208, they stay side by side. But that is tomorrow night. We are back sitting here tonight at Phoenix underneath our 7th caution of the evening. So the good news is these lap times, they're pretty short lapse times, 26, 27 seconds. So the cautions are actually bearably short, ladies and gentlemen. I got to poke a little fun right now. Keep your chins up. I know these drivers are going to get back out here into some green flag racing coming very soon. Dustin Lee being very safe out here tonight, leading several of the laps tonight. Joining me in the booth is Joel Guy. How are we doing, Joel Guy?
Scott, I'm not doing good tonight. had to park myself because car just would not handle.
All right, well, I tell you what, you're going to hang out here in the booth and keep me a little bit of company tonight. I was just talking with our viewers about, unfortunately, that was your second one of the evening, and, no harm, no foul. I was mentioning that you may go back on a private day, get a little bit more practice here at Phoenix, but what was it like out there tonight for you on this track?
Well, other than turns 3 and 4, I was getting through there pretty good. Turn 3 and 4, I could get through 1 or 2 times okay, and next time I go through there the same way, and the back end of it just break loose and come around.
All right, copy that. The back end breaking loose. Now, I know that you're not extremely experienced here at Phoenix, but what are the keys to keep that rear end from swinging out like that?
Well, I thought it was throttle control, but I was not getting on the throttle hard, so I don't know what it is. Throttle control is what you're supposed to do, but what I was doing was very easily getting down on the throttle, but the back end just come around.
Alrighty, well, I tell you what, it is a lot different when you are up here in the booth and when you are out there watching it on the television screen, and when you are behind 3,500 pounds of aluminum foil out here with 4 sets of rubbers on them. So either way it goes, Joel, appreciate you doing the correct thing and recognizing your limitations out here at Phoenix. And hopefully these other drivers, we're going to be getting down to some green flag racing. We are hoping. I know our fans right now are aching to see it. We are on lap 39 of 160 to go. And underneath our 7th caution with 8 lead changes. So a little bit of a hairy, scary tonight at night out here at Phoenix.
Definitely is.
Pace car is in. Once again, Dustin Lee out there taking a commanding lead. William Harris, Jason Russo, and Judd Danielson, respectively, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th position. Hopefully these drivers have settled down. Jason Russo taking the inside lane. You get the nice pass off of William R. Harris side by side, and Jason Russo will get the rundown on the inside, but fighting back on his right side is the number 3 of William R. Harris. Jason Russo back. Right now, Joel, the number 14 and the number 3 battling hard for position 2. Back and forth, and hello, ladies and gentlemen, caution is out. We're going to back it up. Once again, taking a look at our GW Graphics replay, and we do know that the number 88 of Gary Burt unfortunately caught into it, but not sure if it was of any fault of his own. We're going to take a look and see exactly what caused the number 88 of Gary Burt to spin out, and it was actually up in front of Gary Burt. We do know that the 01 of James Lehman. We are looking at James Lehman, as it appears that James Lehman came down across the nose of the 89 breaking loose. And that will be the second caution brought out by James Lehman. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned with Joel Guy, he had actually caused 2 cautions. That caution right there was brought out by the 01 of James Lehman. So, unfortunately, James Lehman will have to park tonight. We had high hopes out here for James Lehman tonight.
All right. Yes. Unfortunately, the James did cause 2, so he's got to get parked, and so we're now pacing, getting ready to go back just a couple of laps back to green flag racing, and hopefully green flag pit stops. But we're still 2 to go, so we got a couple more caution laps to go.
All righty, Phoenix tonight out here taking its toll. But I'll tell you what, it does give me time to get in another driver interview. Now, one driver we always enjoy talking out here with Southeast is Mitchell Reeves. How about it, Mitchell Reeves?
We got you.
Busy, crazy night out here. Talk to me.
Yeah, we're just trying to survive. I mean, this is a tough track. Phoenix is I've always looked at it as a bigger Martinsville. I think we can calm it down a little bit. I think we'll be all right. But I don't know if it's really just the aggressive driving. The track's just really slick, Scott. Turn 4, all through practice, was giving a lot of people problems, including myself. But it's just one of those tough races. The good thing is there's a lot more races left in this series that are going to have probably go green flag all the way through. And that's just the way we got to look at this going forward. But there's still 65 laps to make it a heck of a show. Hopefully we can do it. If not, there's always tomorrow night at Daytona. So I'm really excited for tomorrow night at Daytona for sure, and especially the rest of the series coming up and the rest of this race.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, congratulations to you, Mitchell Reeves. That is a positive, great attitude you have right there. And when we set out these tracks, I mean, we can run Talladega blindfolded 6-7 nights a week, but we do want to challenge these drivers. And tonight, Phoenix, just like Martinsville did, they are very challenging tracks, but a true race driver, they can do anything out here. So I think the guys will be all right tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be. We got a lot of laps still to get it going, and I think we're about to. I think hopefully we'll get a green flag run going on. We're hoping Southeast Motorsports to stay up in the front. Me and Nick got some issues there a little bit earlier, just trying to figure out our braking. But we're getting more into this race. I think we'll get in a groove here, and hopefully it'll be a good finish. But just happy to be here at KMA, and hopefully we'll have a good, clean rest of the race.
All right, copy that.
Okay, we're fixing to go back green flag racing. Pace car's fixing to go off, and we're going to get back to green flag racing here in just a minute.
Right,
waiting for the pace car to go off, and he's about to hit pit road now.
Once again, we have Dustin Lee up there in the front, but new contender up here side by side with Jason Russo. So we have not yet seen Jason Russo tonight on these restarts. This may be an opportunity for Jason Russo tonight, but once again, Dustin Lee, very powerful on that restart, side by side we're looking at the number 3 of William Harris getting side by side underneath with Jason Russo. Jason Russo trying to hold down that upper line, doing a good job, but the number 3, William Harris, going backwards in the pack, losing several positions right there. That will give Jason Russo a very solid top 2 right now, but he is being challenged by the number 85 of Judd Danielson. We had talked to Judd Danielson earlier, definitely a man who knows his way around this track here at Phoenix, knowing how to back off. As we just did see him, he was coming up very tight on the number 14 of Jason Russo, knew when to back out of that throttle. But in the rearview mirror of Judd Danielson, we have got the 211 of Tristan Beats, having his hands full with the number 9 of Michael Jeans. Now, Michael Jeans running for Southeast Motorsports. Definitely a man, very powerful driver here at Phoenix, and we had talked to Michael about 3 cautions ago. Going underneath the 211 of Tristan Beats, Michael Jeans starting to make a move here on lap 48. Now, Joel, it's very interesting watching these drivers come around that tri-oval, and they're getting so close to those orange cones, they could actually put their hand out that window and grab up a cone.
Yeah, I'm here.
So that is, very tight racing as they're coming around these cones. What do you think, Joel?
Yeah, that's
caution.
Caution a better cut on the line
out.
going into the corner.
Caution is out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to back it up. Take a look at that on our All Pro Broadcasting replay brought to you by GW Graphics. Possibly hearing that Steve Dutz tonight in the number 8, possibly involved, but that has not yet been verified. As we are trying to find that trouble spot out here on the track, appears that Steve Dutz did get into the rear end of the number 54, Nick Reynolds. And Steve Dutz bringing out caution number 9. Now right there, Joel, just, I don't know, racing deal. Looks like Steve Dutz had quite the big run onto Nick Reynolds. Nick Reynolds suffering the worst end of that.
Yeah, racing deal, Nick Reynolds checking braking quicker than Steve Dukes does, and that's just at these tracks you got people that brake at different points, and so if the driver brakes faster than you think he is, you can beat into him before you can stop.
Copy that, and that was hard racing. And oftentimes right there, Joel, it is hard to call as there are different braking points. Now, Steve Dukes, one could say he was coming in pretty hot onto the rear end of the 54. Another driver might say the 54 was braking a little bit hard. But in my opinion, it is always the responsibility of the incoming driver to sit there and make sure they do not run over drivers. That will bring out our 9th caution of the night. 8 lead changes. We are at the halfway point in time. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, at the halfway point of tonight's race, it is an excellent time to take a commercial break here at Phoenix, and we will be right back with you, ladies and gentlemen.
It was actually Dave.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, underneath our 9th caution of the evening. Back to green flag racing, actually. We have got the number 51 of Dustin Lee, once again way out in front this time, running like a man on a mission. We've got Judd Danielson sitting in a very strong position, too, along with the number 14 of Jason Russo, sitting in position 3. So right now, Judd and Jason Russo doing a very great job. Mitchell Reeves sitting in 4th place, and William R. Harris holding down 5th place very securely. Now, Joel, right now, we are still looking to get in more than 3 or 4 laps of green flag racing. I know these drivers are a little bit flustered out here. Looking at the number 3 of William Harris, making the safe pass on Matt Clifton. William Harris taking the outside lane, trying to get up to the rear end of Mitchell Reeves and make a pass, but unfortunately that outside lane, it did not work out for him, and he is losing a position to.
Definitely he's losing positions, and the outside lane is not the place to be. You cannot hold it. It just pushes up to the wall and you have to let out of it, so you're not going to gain any speed going around on the outside. You've got to get underneath the car to pass them and stay in the pack.
Now it does appear, Joel, that our front 5 have settled down quite a bit, but the number 20 of Matt Clifton getting a little bit of pressure from the 93 of Scott Sanderson right there. Very good racing going on with the number 20 as he's trying to go underneath the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, but the number 93 of Scott Sanderson taking it almost 3 wide right here, is taking it 3 wide here on that 57. The number 20 doing everything he can to protect that lane, but number 93 Scott Sanderson going down to the inside of the number 20 of Matt Clifton, racing very hard right there for position 6, almost side by side going down that backstretch.
Definitely, they're racing hard, and Matt Clifton keeping out in front. As long as he can keep his nose out in front and cut down to that inside line, then Scott Sanderson's not going to be able to get around, and you cannot pass from on the outside unless you got fresh tires on. You might pass a car out there then, but after tires have wore some, you're not going to pass from the outside. You've got to do it on the inside.
Well, and right now, with as many cautions as we have had, Joel, every driver out here should be sitting on fresh tires. But I'm not so sure about Dustin Lee, Judd Danielson, and Jason Russo. I know they have stayed out of pit road, trying to stay up here in the front, keeping our cameras rolling on with the number 20 of Matt Clifton and Scott Sanderson. Great action between these two drivers here. I do believe we have actually gotten in the most green flag racing of the night. Scott Sanderson very deep down onto that yellow line, and as soon as I say it, ladies and gentlemen, we are underneath. Another caution word on the field is that one there will belong to Matthew Quick in the number 89 Squatty Potty. Tonight, looking at Matthew Quick coming around that corner, front tires breaking loose, and that rear end coming out from underneath him, single car spin out, no one else involved. Matthew Quick trying to get her under control. Matthew Quick successfully getting it back under control, but unfortunately too late, and this will bring out our 10th caution of the evening with 40 laps to go. Well, what did you see happening right there, Joel?
I saw basically the same thing that's happening to me, Scott. You start getting on the gas coming off of 4, and if you're in a certain lane, the back end comes around. If you're in the other lane, you can get through there okay. It's just a matter of a couple of feet difference position on the track, and the back end breaks loose and you come around.
Alrighty, copy that. If these drivers had not yet pitted, as I mentioned, I'm not sure if Dustin Lee has gone into pit row or not, but if not, he might want to be thinking about it. I'm looking at the All Pro Broadcasting chat and seeing one of our viewers asking about a driver we aim to please, so we're going to make Michelle's night. How about it, Raymond Rittenauer? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, we had a fan out there on the All Pro Broadcasting chat taking a look for you. Michelle McMaster Eisenhower want to know where Raymond was. So here is Raymond. Let's talk to us, Raymond.
Not really much to talk about tonight. Just kind of hanging out in the back, and hopefully we'll get a green flag run here soon.
Alrighty, anybody you want to give a big shout out to?
Michelle, thanks for watching. Everybody else watching the KMA, and you guys for on our broadcast.
Alrighty, copy that. And by the way, good job last night. You brought home a very solid position 3 out there in the pad race. And I know that Michelle was quite happy and proud of you, giving you the big thumbs up right now. So good luck to you tonight, Raymond. Be strong, brother.
All right, thank you.
Raymond Rittenauer out there doing a great job last night, racing for pad. And while we are underneath caution, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you a little bit of great information out there with PAD. Michelle McMaster Eisenhower joining hands with PAD, People Against Distracted Driving, and putting her real-life skills into the helping others that have lost a life. So a big shout-out to Michelle McMaster Eisenhower out there helping Mike Clemmy try to make the world a better place. Thank you, Michelle, for all your hard work with Pat, as well as Mike Clemmy. Now, some of these drivers have gone into pit row, and that's going to change things up in front. We've actually got some new drivers out there in front. Michael Jean's out there. Big shout out to Amanda. I hope she is watching her man right there out there in the front. Michael Jeans will be taking that P1 position on this restart. side by side with the number 68 of Rob Haynes, Wesley Whitfield, position 3rd, and Ronald Hartfeld taking up position 5 on this next restart. Dustin Lee has dropped down to position 5, but he has been leading the most laps so far tonight.
Yeah, this has been a rough night tonight for the drivers. The track has been slick, can't get a grip on it, and they're doing the best they can, but the track just is not working with them.
No, but I tell you what, Joel, it's like my wife tells me, the track's not going to change. It is not going to change at all, other than by degrees. So that track's going to be the same Monday, going to be the same Tuesday. It is up to the driver to get out here and make necessary changes to the vehicle or to his skills. And, I tell the drivers out here, Joel, if you're spinning going hot on lap 13, why in goodness sakes would you do it on 14 and on 15 and so forth right down the line? So we got some drivers out here tonight doing a very good job. I don't think there's a lick of damage on the number 9 of Michael Jeans or the 74 of Wesley Whitfield. But unfortunately, a few drivers back there in the back, as you well know, Joel, getting into trouble early. Michael Jeans off on this restart. Big jump out there by Michael Jeans. Wesley Whitfield keeping down onto that inside lane. Dustin Lee trying to get underneath the number 68 of Rob Haynes, and Dustin Lee will make a pass on Rob Haynes, going for another pass on the 74 of Wesley. Almost there, not quite. Wesley up to that wall, and there goes Dustin Lee, working his way back up into position 2 right now, one going from 5 to 2 in pretty much a lap and a half. Wow, Dustin Lee, the man on the move tonight on lap 66. Michael Jeans out there in front. Dustin Lee getting very close to taking up that number 1 spot away from Michael Jeans. And I tell you what, Joel, on that restart, Dustin Lee was in 5th position. Right now, he is very close to taking over that 1st position. Right now, all eyes are focused on the number 51 of Dustin Lee. Caution is out, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to back it up through our field and figure out which driver tonight. We are hearing on the track that it is the number 3. The number 3 driven by Mr. Andrew Williams. Backing up our replay to take a very solid look and seeing exactly what happened here on lap 67.
On lap 67, the 3 car of just broke loose and coming off of 4 and did the same thing I was doing and just back end up, come around with it, and he couldn't catch it.
I tell you what, this is a very familiar scene out here at Phoenix, Joel. Very familiar scene indeed. I believe we have seen this same situation now happen 6 or 7 times. This will bring out our 11th caution of the evening here at Phoenix. I know these drivers are worn out, hoping to get down to some green flag racing very soon. Right now, Michael Jeans out there in front, along with the number 51 of Dustin Lee and Scott Sanderson. Matt Clifton, Rob Haynes, 4th and 5th, respectively.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's turning into a bad night for the drivers racing because they don't like racing under caution no more than the fans like it. And we apologize to the fans, but we just can't get a grip on the track.
I'll copy that, Joel. It is a lot harder than it looks. Martinsville, we had some really bad luck out there with Martinsville a couple weeks ago. Tonight, Phoenix breaking down to be about the same. Sometimes you have good nights, sometimes you have rough nights, but either way it goes. Big shout out to the dedicated fans and the dedicated viewers out there. When it rains, it pours, and when it sun shines, well, it's awful bright and yellowy out there, but tonight, I don't believe there's a whole lot of sunshine out here tonight at Phoenix, no matter how hot that track is tonight.
No, I don't think there's any sunshine. I think it's everybody's in the clouds today on this track. It's just a bad night. It seems like the majority of the field missed the setup and can't get a handle on the car.
Well, there's a lot of drivers out here. Joe actually has a very good handle on it. Michael Jeans, Dustin Lee, Scott Sanderson, Matt Clifton, Jason Russo, all 5 of these drivers actually have been very good out here. Now we are hoping to get down into the closing laps. We're looking at about 29 laps to go to get her done tonight. Now here at Phoenix, 30 laps can go by in the blink of an eye, about 15 minutes of green flag racing, as these lap times are sitting down into the 26s and the 27s.
Definitely, you turn fast laps here, and the cars out in front, they're not having to worry about the cars in front of them and their braking points. And when they do, when you're in the back of the field, you got to watch the people coming up behind you, watch the people beside you, the drivers beside you, as well as watch the drivers in front of you for braking points. So it's a lot harder to drive this track in the middle of the pack and the back of the pack than it is at the front of the pack.
Well, we are still keeping our hopes up tonight for a green flag finish here at Phoenix. Tomorrow night we are going to be at Daytona. That's going to be a much better night. Daytona and the Cup cars speeds upwards of 208, 209 miles per hour. Tonight here at Phoenix, not so much. Right now we do have Michael Jeans out there on that pole position being rooted on by Amanda Stewart and the ladies out there. And speaking of the ladies, remember, this coming Saturday night, we are going to be racing for the ladies in the Ladies' Night Out. And that will be 100 laps in Talladega in the trucks, and we're going to paint them up pink and sweet for the girls out there. Pace car is in. Michael Jeans side by side with Dustin Lee, and away goes Michael Jeans like a bat out of that gate. Side by side action with Dustin Lee and Scott Sanderson, battling hard for that position 2 spot.
Definitely, Dustin Lee and Scott Sanderson are battling for second spot real hard. New tires on, then you can go around on the outside for a few laps. So Dustin Lee's not going to lose it all right yet, but if he stays out there, the field will go by.
Well, and we are looking at Scott Sanderson getting a big run on the number 9. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely speechless, and that is very rare for me to be speechless, but this will be bringing out another caution. We're going to look at that by our GW graphics replay. And I tell you what, I do not know what I would do without GW tonight. We do know that the number 54 of Nick Reynolds, unfortunately involved in that one, but not sure if Nick Reynolds was at fault or not. We're going to back that up. You know that Nick Reynolds, taking a look at that replay, and Nick Reynolds overdriving that corner, taking a left-hand turn, taking a spin. No other cars were involved in that one there, but unfortunate spin out for the number 54 of Nick Reynolds.
That's there again. We've got that coming off of 4 in the back end, breaking loose. So it's just be at the wrong position on this track, and the back end breaks loose every time.
It is happening every time. This is our 12th caution of the night. We are slowly, ladies and gentlemen, ticking down. We are on lap 76. We have had more caution laps tonight than green flag. But I tell you what, you've got to go with the good and the bad here, and we're not going to get down on these drivers at all, because I tell you what, if I was down there, I'd have probably done wrecked that field 9-10 times over. You get out of these tracks tonight, Joel, what you put into them. And tonight we have seen drivers such as Michael Jean, Scott Sanderson, Dustin Lee, Matt Clifton, Jason Russo, Mitchell Reeves, even Judd Danielson out here tonight that have obviously put their time in on this track. And that is not in any way, shape, or form to disrespect any driver. We've got great drivers out here. But like myself, Joel, I am a Talladega. I am all about Talladega. There are drivers out here hate Talladega, are not good at Talladega, and they come to Phoenix and they can just haul butt around this track all day long. So great drivers, rough track, rough night. It is what it is, and we're going to get this race done and over with and finished up either way it goes. Right now, Michael Jeans, the strong man on the track, along with Scott Sanderson and Dustin Lee, our top three, here on lap 77 of 100.
Yeah, Scott, tonight has been a rough night, and Michael Jeans has definitely got the edge right now, but he could lose it at any time. I mean, it's like I say, it's the turn 3 and 4 is like a piece of ice if you get the right track.
Alrighty, copy that. Now, I did promise Travis I would talk to him one more time tonight. Travis, we are closing down on the end tonight.
Hey, Scott.
What are your thoughts so far?
Well, Scott, it's been very heavy on the cautions. You know, a lot of people are just driving way over their heads, and I'd love to see some green flag here at the end of this.
Alrighty, we keep hoping for the green flag. I'm glad you're out there on that All-Pro Broadcasting chat, keeping those lovely ladies out there company, because I have a feeling a couple of them might be falling asleep, so I'm going to let you back to them. But Travis, thank you for jumping back up here with me. Always a pleasure to hear your voice, and you go down there and hang out with Michelle and give her a smile and a giggle.
I will. Hello, Michelle and Becky. I'm talking to you too, so have fun.
There we go. That's Travis Browder. Give him a big shout out. Give him a shout out to the ladies out there. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing once again, ladies and gentlemen. Joel, I would dare to ask, what can we expect out of the next 22 laps?
Well, I hate to say it, but I think we're going to have some more cautions because people, like I said, it seems like there's one spot in turn 3 and 4 that if you're in that groove, it breaks loose.
These drivers back to green flag racing with Michael Jeans. Big start out there in the front. Scott Sanderson coming hard along with the number 51 of Dustin Lee, side by side with the number 20 of Matt Clifton. Dustin Lee having to back out. Matt Clifton into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, caution is out. Cameras were on that one right there. I seen it, you seen it. The number 20 of Matt Clifton sliding up into that wall a little bit, getting pressured by the number 51 of Dustin Lee, and appears as Matt Clifton did slide up track, taking a bite out of that wall and coming down across the nose of the number 51 of Dustin Lee.
Yeah, Matt Clifton, once he hit that wall, he couldn't control where he was going, but it definitely, he took out quite a few cars by that. So, you know, that's one of the worst things that can happen when you hit the wall is come back across the track in front of traffic and take out other drivers.
Michael Jeans out there in the front. Michael Jeans out there on this P1 position. Scott Sanderson P2, Matt Clifton P3.
That's for sure, dude.
Now we are going to be doing our restart here, sitting on about lap 83, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Jeans, Scott Sanderson, Matt Clifton out there in front. Appears that Judd Danielson will get his free pass tonight, so good job with Judd Danielson getting that free pass. Mitchell Reeves sitting in position 3. Jason Russo P4, Matt Clifton P5, Brian Rainville P6.
Well, let's hope, Scott, that they'll stay off that one spot on the track, and we'll get some green flag laps. But that corner's just deadly tonight for some reason.
This track, unfortunately, is deadly tonight, Joel. Not so much for Michael Jeans and Scott Sanderson and Mitchell Reeves doing a very great job out here tonight. As they normally do, Jason Russo leading Pack 4 at KMA Racing tonight, sitting in a very solid 4th position. Matt Clifton, a survivor tonight for sure out here. Hopefully able to get in and out of pit row with that backup vehicle he is allotted. Brian Rainville P7, P6, and Judd Danielson back up to P7.
Well, we're fixing to go back green flag racing here in just a minute. We're 1 to green going down the front stretch, and they'll be coming back around, and the pace car will be coming off, and we'll see if we can get some green flag laps in.
Well, we have been looking for green flag laps all night, Joel, and we've gotten a few in here, but I think we've only actually achieved maybe 10 or so. Unfortunate night here at Phoenix. Getting ready to get back into what we hope will be our last caution, 13 cautions. I think we may be heading for a record out here tonight. I don't remember what Martinsville was, but I am having some serious flashbacks to Martinsville, Joel.
Definitely serious flashbacks. Pace car's off.
Michael
Jeans in the row. Michael Jeans is taking off, going down front straightaway towards turn 1 and 2, and they're wrecking behind him.
Unfortunately, that caution is out, ladies and gentlemen. I deeply apologize for all of these cautions, ladies and gentlemen. It is completely out of my hands. We are looking at, I know the number 66 of Edward Bray, I think, is suffering a little bit of rear end damage. But we do know that Edward Bray was innocent in that. So what we're actually looking at that I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is Matthew Quick getting into the rear end of Wally Tierheimer and then being slammed into by the number 74 of Wesley. So Joel, help me take a look at this and figure out exactly what went wrong here with this restart of Wally Tierheimer.
Is they checked that the leader didn't go when the outside line thought he would, and the second place car had to check up, and when he did, it was a accordion effect from the front to the back of the cars taking off and having to break it down to keep from running over the car in front of them, and some of them did and some of them couldn't.
Unfortunately, Matthew Quick, Wesley Whitfield, Raul Hartfeld, Wally Tierheimer, Edward Bray caught up into this terribly bad 13th restart here tonight at Phoenix. Once again, we do have Michael Jeans out there in front. Now, that is very good news for Amanda Stewart out here, and Michael Jeans has actually got a very legitimate shot at winning this tonight at the rate this is going. But what really surprises me, Joel, we have still got 23 drivers out here on this lead lap tonight. We have got two drivers 2 laps down and 3 drivers 2 laps down. And we've got 1 driver 6 laps down in pit row trying to get his backup vehicle out of the garage. Michael Jeans, Scott Sanderson, Jason Russo, Mitchell Reeves, Judd Danielson, and Scott and Joel up in the booth. A little bit flustered tonight here at Phoenix.
Definitely we're flustered here at Phoenix tonight. We expected to have a better run than this tonight, or this afternoon. It's not night, it's afternoon at the track. So it's just a hot, slick track in the daytime, and apparently the setups were more or less configured for cooler weather on these cars or something. I don't know. But that one there was caused due to the fact that whenever the outside car tried to jump the start, he had to back out of it, and the car behind him had already got into the gas again, so he had to get out of it. The next car, and it's just an accordion effect going backwards, and sooner or later the accordion effect gets to the point that cars start hitting each other and they start having damage.
Copy of that, Joel. Michael Jean, Scott Sanderson, Jason Russo, Mitchell Reeves, top 4. Now this will be our 13th restart. 14 cautions tonight, 9 lead changes. The good news, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 12 to go. So I do believe that a lot of drivers right now just may be to the point of submission and just right now get her done. Been a very long night tonight here at Phoenix. I want to give a big shout out to PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. Big shout out to the fans out there. Right now we've got the ladies out there playing cards, and I tell you what, I may end up joining those ladies out there playing cards. Tonight's race unfortunately has been a little bit of a bust here, but we will be back to a great race tomorrow night at Daytona in the gens, reaching speeds of 208, 209 miles per hour. That will be at Daytona. I believe it is a night race, so we might be seeing some fireworks after that race. Goodness knows we have seen enough fireworks out here tonight here at Phoenix.
Definitely, if it had been nighttime at Phoenix, we'd have been seeing fireworks, because we'd have been seeing sparks flying all over the track from all the carnage we've had tonight.
I tell you what, it is not for lack of trying. Every driver out here I consider a very experienced driver. But as I mentioned earlier, you can't blame the track. It does come down to that driver. Michael Jean's very good restart, getting the jump out on the inside lane of Jason Russo, and Scott Sanderson up on that outside, very close racing with Jason Russo. Jason Russo breaking loose, doing a great job keeping her down off that no caution, ladies and gentlemen, as Jason Russo dropping several positions to the back of the pack, but doing a great job of saving that. No caution this time, ladies and gentlemen. Back up to the front, Michael Jeans with a big runway. 10 laps to get her done tonight, but he is being chased down by the number 93. And as I said it, caution is out. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, going to back up those camera action and find out exactly what did trigger what will be our 15th caution of the evening. And we are looking at the number 72 of Ivan Garcia in the Mickey D, going for a spin, a single car spin out. I do not believe anybody actually made contact with Ivan, but once again, that familiar scenario as Ivan Garcia nose first, rear end out. Dustin Lee barely missing contact with the number 72 as Abe Bowden does everything he can to back her down. Great driving by Dustin Lee and Abe Bowden. Now, I will tell you this. This is the first spot of trouble out here tonight for the number 72 of Ivan Garcia. Ivan Garcia doing a very great job tonight. 92 laps before any problems.
Yeah, Ivan's done a great job tonight. He's stayed clean all night, and unfortunately just got in the wrong spot on the track.
Well, I tell you what.
Come around.
All right, well, that gives us time for one more interview. Joining me up in the booth is Brian Rainville. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Scott. Thank you.
Now, I see you have slowly but surely over the course of several cautions worked your way up into position 4. What are your plans for the next remaining 7 laps other than try to stay out of trouble?
Well, the way I see it, the 3 guys in front of me have been staying out of trouble. I'm going to just do what I've been doing. Been very cautious, looking way ahead of me, and got lucky a few times tonight. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. I think the cautions are going to happen behind us. If they do happen, we're going to have 6 to go, I think.
All righty, well, hopefully we'll get those 6 laps in green flag racing. Tell us a little bit about who you are and who your racing team is.
Yeah, I run with the Premier Race Network. Been doing that for 12 years now, and I'd just like to plug myself by saying that I won the Xfinity Championship this year, my first ever championship, and very proud of that. But as you know, I run with you a whole heck of a lot. And to those naysayers, Scott, man, you're the man. You do it right, and I'm a big fan.
All right, thank you very much for your kind words. Mr. Brian Rainville running with Premier Race Network and champion. Good job, Brian, and maybe we'll see you as a champion here tonight. Brian Rainville running with Premier Race Network. Now, as Brian did mention, fans, we are looking at about a 6-lap shootout. I think it might be a little bit closer to 5, possibly even 4. Right now we do have Michael Jean, Scott Sanderson, Mitchell Reeves up in the 3rd spot, Brian Rainville in the 4th spot, and Steve Dutz sitting in 5th. Raymond Rittenauer, possibly Michelle McMaster Eisenhower's pick of the evening. He will be restarting out in position 6 tonight. Rusty Farrell, P7, William R. Harris, P8, Wally Tierheimer, P9, Matthew Quick in the Squatty Potty car will be restarting in position 10. Drivers are lining up double file. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got our fingers crossed that we will be going onto a green flag finish, if nothing else, here tonight at Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm sure the drivers will be glad when this one's over because it's been a rough night for drivers.
Phoenix, Arizona tonight, ladies and gentlemen, taking its toll on the drivers, but Michael Jean and Scott Sanderson, the best 2 cars on the track right now, but Mitchell Reeves, a complete powerhouse within himself. And away goes Michael Jean out with a very strong jump, and Mitchell Reeves coming underneath the number 93 of Scott Sanderson. But in the rearview mirror is the number 8 of Steve Dutz, side-by-side racing with Scott Sanderson and Mitchell Reeves. Right now, Michael Jean's out there in complete control. We are on lap 96, hoping for a green flag finish. Tight racing with the number 2 of Mitchell Reeves and Scott Sanderson and the number 8 of Steve Dutz. Brian Rainville back into position 5, having his hands full with the number 25 and Brian Rainville in the number 60 touching. No contact, no caution will fly, but Brian Rainville losing several spots back up to the front. Michael Jean and Scott Sanderson in positions 1, 2. Caution is out, ladies and gentlemen. The good news is that will be our final caution of the evening here at Phoenix. Going to back it up and see exactly what happened here and bring out our final caution. And we are looking at the number 53 of Craig Hawkins. Unfortunately in trouble. Number 88, Gary Burt, as well as the number 15 of Ronald Hartfield. Not exactly sure what happened, but we're going to back those cameras up. We do know that Craig Hawkins getting a little bit loose on that apron, going for a little bit of a spin, nose in into the wall. And at that same moment in time, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the number 15 of Ronald Hartfield, possibly drifting up, making contact with the number of 88 of Gary Burt. But I think that one there might have been a bit of a mutual meeting in the middle right there. Possibly both drivers thrown off of their pace by Craig Hawkins. Now, I do believe this is going to end the race, but we're going to have to take one more lap, ladies and gentlemen, and find out from our race officials. What are you thinking, Joel? Thinking these race officials are going to end it here tonight?
I think they're going to end it under caution. I don't think they'll get back to racing on this one. We also, during that caution, had the 51 of Dustin Lee come around, coming off of turn 3 and 4. He didn't hit anything, but he did break loose and come around.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, officially this race is over. These drivers are taking their last lap. As soon as they finish it up, we will get into some post-driver interviews. But Michael Jeans tonight, representing Southeast Motorsports in the number 9, getting rooted on by Amanda Stewart out there on All Pro Broadcasting chat. Michael Jeans bringing her home tonight. An excruciating night here at Phoenix. Scott Sanderson will take home a very solid number 2 position. And Mitchell Reeves surviving out here tonight with a great number 3 spot.
Definitely Michael Jeans and Scott Sanderson and Mitchell Reeves, they did what they had to stay at the front, and they just were lucky enough, plus their skills, to not hit that corner turn 3 and 4 at the point where the car breaks loose.
Well, Phoenix definitely very trying on the tires, very trying on the drivers, very trying on the announcers tonight, Joe. I'm certainly glad you jumped up here to give me a hand with it, but unfortunately you were out of the race very early on, but nonetheless, thank you for getting up here and giving us a hand in the booth. And we're going to get these drivers up here for post-race interviews.
I appreciate you kind words there, Scott, and I parked myself. When I break loose and turn around like that twice and don't know why, I'm not going to stay on the track. I'm going to park it and do something else until I can get where I can figure out what's going on with my car on the track.
Copy that. Joining us up in the booth is Mitchell Reeves, bringing home a very solid number 3 spot tonight. Talk to us, Mitchell, about survival.
You hit it right on the head. Just been a heck of a race. You know, we had a lot of wrecks, but you know, I'm very happy that me and Jeans were able to pull it home. Hated to see that stuff there with Matt Clifton and Dustin Lee. I really hated to see that. I think we could have had maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you know, that's just kind of part of it. Huge shout out to Michael Jeans. He kicked butt tonight. Awesome to see him back in victory lane. It seems like everybody's won a race in this series except for me, and I think I'm still leading points. So maybe we can head on to next week and get it. But you know, it was a tough race, Scott. But like I said earlier in the interview, there's always next race. Tomorrow night's gonna be Daytona. The viewers please don't look at this race as a bad race for us. It was just an off night for us. But Daytona is gonna be an awesome race. Hope to see everybody that's viewing tonight back. It's gonna be an awesome race. So hopefully see a lot of you guys there. Huge shout out to KMA, All Pro Broadcasting, Southeast Motorsports, everybody that's involved there. Dan Stop Not Chicken Coolin. Huge shout out over to Top Racing Designs. John Hedrick has made a lot of our awesome paint schemes, and just happy to have awesome painter like him. Go check him out at John Hedrick on Trading Paints and Over the Top Paints and Designs on Facebook. So just we're gonna load it up, take it to next week, and enjoy this 3rd place victory.
All right, very good attitude. I like your attitude, Mitchell Reeves. Congratulations on the P3.
Thank you.
Moving on to our number 2 spot, Scott Sanderson. How you doing, Scott?
Pretty good. How about you?
All righty, hard-fought battle for you. Very impressed with you tonight. One of the few drivers I could hold her together here at Phoenix. Talk to us about your evening.
It was a great evening, just as great as it could get. Up and down as far as the race goes. I was up at the front for the longest time, and well, mainly because of cautions. Didn't have that many green flag laps at the beginning, but had to pit for tires, and it took the entire rest of the race to get back up through the field for me, just because couldn't get any green flag runs going. So it was like pick a spot off, caution, pick another spot off, caution, lose a spot. Well, then you just lost the last 10 laps worth of work. So I think if we had a green flag run, I definitely know we would have been able to get to Michael. But oh well, what can you do? Fast car doesn't always win.
All right, well, either way it goes, congratulations, bringing home a very solid 2 tonight. doing a great job of surviving. So congratulations to Scott. But the man of the hour is Michael Jeans. How about it, Michael?
Hey, Scott, that was a pretty good night overall.
Overall, a pretty good night. Well, I tell you what, I think that might depend upon who you talk to, but you and Mitchell out there representing Southeast. I don't know if we talk about strategy tonight or just up there. I think the strategy tonight was to get to the front and stay in the front. Am I correct?
Yeah, pretty much. It's, unfortunately, I kind of had an idea how this race was going to go, and that was my plan. Was, I wanted to stay out front, but I didn't. I messed up my qualifying, so I kind of qualified in the middle. So I went ahead and pitted earlier, but that was my thing, was to get to my pit window, which was right at 50, and pit there. And I stayed out from that point on. And even with all the cautions, you just pass people, because every caution after that, one or two would fall off, and it just made it that much easier to get to the front. But then you got to hang on to it.
All right, copy that. And, I myself, you mentioned you had a little bit of trouble out there, but you seem to have a very firm grip on that car tonight, along with Scott Sanderson and Mitchell Reeves, and Steve Dutz had a firm grip on it. But unfortunately, even a couple of the Southeast Motorsports drivers tonight just, Phoenix, well, I tell you what, it kicked several drivers' butts out here tonight, but we aren't going to talk about that right now. We're just going to talk about the great job that Michael Jeans, Scott Sanderson, and Mitchell Reeves did out here. So congratulations to Michael Jeans bringing home race 5 at Phoenix. Good job, Michael.
Thank you, sir. It was a lot of fun. I'd like to thank you and KMA. Y'all have great series. We, just like anywhere, you're going to have bad race every once in a while, but great series. Love running here. John Hendrick, Over the Top Paints and Designs, for doing our paints for us. Richie B's Pizza for putting on this series.
All right, copy that, and I appreciate your kind words, and we'll see you tomorrow night at Daytona.
Thanks, sir.
All righty, Joel, we're going to wrap this up. It has been quite the long night here. I want to thank you for jumping up here and joining me in the booth.
You're very much welcome, Scott. I wish that the racing had been better for the fans, but unfortunately, sometimes we get a good night and sometimes we don't.
Well, that is why they call it racing, and here at Phoenix, Phoenix was a very tough night. But final shout-out, big shout-out to the painter out there over the Top Paints and Designs. Big shout-out to the broadcaster. Busy man out there tonight. Big shout-out to the replay sponsor, GW Graphics, our grid sponsor, Michael Angelo's painting. Big shout-out to all the fans out there that have religiously stood by tonight, because I tell you what, it was a rough night here at Phoenix, but tomorrow night's going to be a whole lot sunnier out there at Daytona, and I will see you on the track tomorrow at Daytona, Joel. Thank you for helping me out.
You're welcome, Scott, and yes, you will see me. Actually, you'll see me in the booth tomorrow night at Daytona, because I'll be in the booth with you.
That's right, absolutely right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he is Joel Guy. We've got Mike D'Amico on the cameras, and I am Scott Kolovic. Final shout out to the fans out there. Martha Terenheimer joining us a little bit late, but Martha, glad to see you out here, and we'll see you tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driving the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.